Man, today's gameplay is going to be focusing Janemba. I feel like if you play it with a character that doesn't have a rush move, that you'll get better at the game faster. I'm working on that. As you can see in the video, I'll make a lot of mistakes with the rushing and stuff, but let's really talk about it. I feel like, hold on, we got to wait a couple more seconds before. Yeah, all right, bet. I feel like this game be dick munching with the connection, bro. And I'm gonna get straight into a couple theories that I have. The first match I'm playing is male player. He wasn't really that good, but I'm a regular nigga on this game. Like I'm not really the best player myself, so I guess it's evenly matched. But yeah, this game be dick munching because you're gonna see in the game that randomly halfway through the match, like my inputs get delayed, the connection drops, I lose frames. It's so annoying, bro, because it's 2025. I know games from 2013 that I can play right now and the connection is crisp. I know games on the PS3 and the 360 that still run smoother than this game that came out in 2024, which is so sad, bro. It's so sad how this is a multi-million dollar production for this game that has been in the works for 17 years. 17 years. I remember being in high school when they had the petitions for Tenkaichi to come back, and they had multiple of them, and they all did at least 1 million signatures plus. And I feel like the biggest reason why they waited so long to drop is not because they didn't want to, is because they had to wait for the rights to expire from Spike TV, I believe, or Spike. Spike was one of the Spike and Atari. Neither one of those are around anymore as game developers, but even though they're not around, it doesn't mean they don't own the IP for it. So after a certain period of time, you have to wait. It's like when an artist dies and their music, they still own the rights to it before you can do it sample free. For artists, free game for artists, if it's not owned by a label or a state, you can generally get around sampling an artist after 50 years from them passing away. Unfortunately, is just the name of the game, and I'm assuming gaming rights work something similar. So they made the game because they were finally able to. Otherwise, they would have made it 10 years ago, in my opinion. But you see, the first game, I literally was dominating, and then for whatever reason, the connection died, and the game was just hoeing me. I'm not gonna lie, the game was dead, just hoeing me, and you're gonna see that in a couple of more matches in here too. And I got a few reasons for that. Now, I've seen a couple of YouTubers like Demon Joe and Don Coolio, for example. They brought up the laggy connection amongst others. I'm pretty sure Ambassador Plays, OPAC, all of them, they probably talked about it too. There's a couple reasons. The first reason is the engine that the game is actually made on. So it's made with the Unreal Engine. And long story short, it's a beautiful engine to make a big-ass game that looks spectacular. But it's a single-player engine for real. Because I'll put it to you like this, right? Back in the day, on the 360, a lot of games, 3D games, because I know 2D games like even Fighter Z is on the Unreal Engine, and it doesn't play nearly as bad as Sparking Zero does. And that game has been around for years upon years. I think 8 years at this point, 7 or 8 years. But it's a 2D game. It's not allowed to work with. Street Fighter is also on the Unreal Engine. But with 3D games, like you see with Storm Connections, is after a period of time, the coding for it just drops off like a rock. Like usually like 7 to 11 months after. It just sucks, bro. How I know this, when I was in high school, I actually had access to the Unreal Engine, and I was making like game set pieces and running codes and stuff. Not only that, I was a Gears of War fiend, and you'll probably see this on the channel soon, but I love playing that game, and that's one thing that I always noticed. And it was only with the 3D big ass set piece games like those that where they the connection would drop off like that. So to answer y'all question, that's one reason as to why the connection is failing. The second reason is with this game, they should have dropped a beta, a public beta, and all of the changes in the testing and the complaints that people had about it, they really should have just filtered it out through the beta, because at least with Gears of War, with its connection issues, they always did betas for that, so they don't have to keep changing the game while it's out, because once it's out, and you can't change it once it's out. So it's not normal for a game that's out to constantly have as many updates as this game has and still be this bad. Like, I'm sorry, the game is like the game at it like when it works, it works. When it works, is a great game. But the problem is besides the lame ass niggas that be hopping on this game, when the connection drops off, it just makes this game borderline unplayable. It kind of punishes you. Like, there used to be a way to avoid the knockback. The knockback, I think it's called the Dragon Dash, where you could just do a sidestep or whatever, but it's like for whatever reason you just can't anymore. The only thing you can do is block it, and if your connection isn't decent, you're gonna get punished for it. Even there, you just saw that the connection dropped off for a little bit. It might be a little. I'll time it, but at like the 6 minute and 10 second mark, the connection dropped off. Like even there, like I couldn't really, like, how do you play with something like that? You just can't. You can't. Like, you could be decent, you could be great at the game, but if the game doesn't work, it doesn't work. And it's like they're changing it so much to where right now, in my opinion, and this Goku was working in this game, I'm not gonna lie. Like, one thing you're gonna notice about my videos is I ain't really scared to run the sets. I'll definitely run the sets. I'll win, lose, draw, whatever. I'll run the sets as long as you're not on no weird shit. Like, I don't mind losing. Like, it's pixels, my nigga. It's a video game. I really don't care. I'm just trying to have fun with it for real. But going back into that, that's one reason as to why the connection keeps on dropping off. Another reason why is anime games are really, really bad at making anime. Like, I don't know if it's a Japanese thing, but they suck at making video games. They do. They suck at making multiplayer games. They're terrible at it. And if they make a decent looking one, if they make a decent one, it just doesn't last. I want you to understand, games like Kakarot, for example, that's a single-player game. That does not count in the discussion of a bad anime game. I'm talking about games that are specifically for playing with other people. Games like Xenoverse, in my opinion, this is a hot take, but Xenoverse is dead trash. I feel like the reason why people like Xenoverse so much is because, number one, everybody wants to feel like they're in a Dragon Ball game. You want to feel like you're in the Dragon Ball world. And Xenoverse was literally the only game that allowed you to do that. Well, not the only one. There was a game that came out before that's technically canon to the Z storyline, if you don't want to count GT, called Dragon Ball Online. And in that game, the lore was pretty cool, but the gameplay, it sucked, which is why it didn't last as long as it did. But then they figured out, this game sold really well. People really like it. If we can have even some decent gameplay and put it on consoles, because that shit was only on PC, people gonna eat it up, and they did, because that game has been out for 10 years, and I don't think it's ever going anywhere. For real, I don't think they even have to make a Xenoverse 3. But if they did, I ain't buying that shit, though. I hate the gameplay for it. It just looks weird to me. It's like, it's very clunky, it's awkward, the graphics are okay, but anime games are just bad normally, online ones at least. So I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna say anime games are just bad for the most part. And anime games are just really, really, really bad. Like, they're just bad. They suck. They have bad longevity. You can't like the Storm series, the ultimate. Like, all right, let me rewind that. So I ain't gonna lie, the 2000s they had some shit. They had some fire anime games, but I'm talking about from like 2012, 2013 to now. The last 10 years, anime games have been nothing but glorified cash grabs. Company make company sees something is doing good, they rush out to do a game, they don't test it, the game dies in 6 months, rinse, lather, repeat, and they've probably made billions of dollars selling it to with how popular anime is getting now. Which is crazy because even when I was in high school, that shit was popular as hell. But now, shit, everybody be watching anime. That shit is like, you weird if you don't watch anime. And the third reason is a PvP connection, player versus player connection. So there's no dedicated server. There's no system online that where you're connecting to a general server. You guys are just averaging out your connection level. So if both of y'all got good connections, y'all gonna have a good game. If both of y'all got one has a bad connection, you have a good connection, y'all gonna have a mid to a bad game. And that's just how it is. So to answer the YouTubers like Don Coolio, like Demon Joe, number one, the Unreal Engine is not at least for 3D set piece games online. The only exception is Fortnite, because Fortnite has made so much money they have to make sure that shit works. The rest of them, if you check their track record, 3D, not 2D. So don't bring no Street Fighter, don't bring no Fighter Z, don't bring no none of that. It's gonna usually have a bad connection. It's just how it is. It's just the coding. The Unreal Engine is meant for single player set pieces. It's not meant for online. Imagine running a big ass set piece on a connection with several people all online on the servers across the world with different connections. It's not like Call of Duty to where like they got great graphics and this, that, and the third, but it's just how the engine is built, if that makes sense. The second thing is Japanese. I feel like Japan, they're just bad at making online anime games, or they've been really dropping the ball recently, and all they really care about is making their money. I'm not even gonna lie, that's really all they care about, for real. Which you should, your business, but you know, it's gonna get to the point where people just not gonna like. This game made me never want to put a single dollar into another anime game ever again. Like, even if they remastered Tenkaichi 3 and all they did was just give it a graphic overhaul and kept everything the same, I still think they'll mess that up. And I still think they'll mess that up. And I really have literally no hope for a Japanese video game from here on out. Like, you'd have to make me a real believer. Like, Japan is just trash at making online video games. They make good single player games. They make good third party games. They make good like RPGs. They make great RPGs. Look at Final Fantasy. That's a great series. Look at Kingdom Hearts. That's a great series. But playing online with other people in a competitive setting, it's just not their thing. Single player games and like those type of vibes, that's their thing. And the third thing is just the PvP connection. There's no real way around it. It's a fighting game. That's how it's got to be. You can't have a public server for a PvP when it's only 2 players on the fucking server. It just doesn't pencil out well. So yeah, that's probably why people are dealing with a lot of lag, like you can see in this game. Even when I try to do like little things like side steps, or when I'm throwing combos, like it'll drop the combos. When I'm trying to do a dragon dash, for whatever reason, I'll just dash like 10 feet and then it'll just stop me abruptly, even though I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm pressing. I know what I got going on. So it's annoying, but you know, this game, if nothing else, this game is teaching me how to think on my feet even more. And I'm not the greatest player or anything like that, but come on, bro, I'm not trash. Like, I make mistakes, but I don't make rookie mistakes like this. It's like, come on, I can't even vanish anymore. Like, I can't even vanish. And it's crazy because with the update, bro, I feel like every single defensive mechanic that should work, in my opinion, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It genuinely doesn't. Because if you try to revenge counter someone, they can. It's literally a combo reset for them. Because all they can do is just press the square button and continue their combo. So it's like you just wasted 2 skill points for absolutely nothing. Perception is hit or miss. Sonic Sway, that is trash now. Especially since for whatever reason the blocking button is not nearly as receptive as it is before. Um, Explosive waves, that's still godly. That still works. But most of in super countering, it's hit or miss. It's like you gotta adjust to the connection, and it's like, who has time to adjust to the timing of each person's connection? It should be once I know the frame, I should be able to pull it off. Like I pull it off here and there, but there's no reason why I should be playing a guessing game with the timing of a super counter because somebody else has a bad connection. That's silly. That's silly in my opinion. But it is what it is. Um, yeah, and also let's really talk about it. They still don't have the ranked online right now. Like even right there, like at the 15-minute 40-second mark. Like how do I play shit like that? For real, for real. How do I account for shit like that? Especially if you're in a vanishing war and you got no health, and that's the difference between winning and losing. Like you just there's not much you can really do. And super countering is so random because for me it doesn't work whatsoever. I've tested the timing so many times, but for them, when it's a bad connection, what I notice is that as soon as I get a step and hit, super counter, super counter, super counter, super counter. And mind you, these are players that are just doing like these are players that are just making rookie mistakes. And it's like, there's no way you're making these kind of mistakes, but you're a god at super counter on the first hit. Like, game just picks and chooses when it wants to work, and it's really annoying. The vanishing time, it feels like a weird combination between how it was when the game originally came out and the update they did after it, when it really shouldn't have touched the vanishing whatsoever, because now it's just clunky. It's weird. It's really, really weird, but it is what it is. And also, another thing I'm going to say about the ranked, as of July 6, 2025, and GG's, bro, good game. As of July 6, 2025, ranked is still down, by the way. So we're approaching the 3-week mark. And here's what I think is going to happen. I think that this is going to be an indefinite break from ranked, meaning that it's not coming back anytime soon. And or they may even be coinciding ranked with the release of the Diamond DLC. I think that the rank delay is probably going to be another couple days to a couple weeks, or even a couple months. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they're genuinely waiting to see what they're gonna do with the Diamond DLC, and they're trying to like, even right there at the 17-minute 50-second mark. Like, come on, bro. Like, how am I supposed to play with that happening on a consistent basis? That's not fair. And this is quick match, and this is quick match. Even team battle used to be immaculate with the online, but now I literally just played it this morning before uploading, and it's just as glitchy and buggy as quick match, regular quick match, not the team one when you sit in the lobby. And it's sad, but it is what it is. I think they're gonna wait until they have the Dino DLC down packed. I think they're gonna make some big announcement like, "Oh, we're gonna make the game just right for you," blah 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 blah. I really think they don't care, and I also think they're trying to figure out what's going on with the whole Suecia and Tokyo Capsule Corp situation in Japan after Toriyama, God bless the dead, died. I think they're trying to figure out that. I also think they're trying to milk this thing out as long as possible, because right now they don't have any other ways of getting like new Dragon Ball content. And who's gonna buy a new Dragon Ball game now? What's it gonna be about? The only thing that would make remote sense is like a Xenoverse 3, honestly. And I'm still not buying that shit. I'm not gonna lie, just because I don't like Xenoverse. Not because I think I don't like Xenoverse. I don't like the gameplay of it. Really, it's whack. But yeah, even with this game, bro, like you could clearly see that, bro. I literally threw a key blast at him to finish the game. I should have grabbed him, but a key blast, bro, that shit went nowhere, and I lost the game for it. So you know your boy had to lock in for the next match. But yeah, I feel as though the Dino DLC, they're just really waiting for that. And then once that's done, they're gonna have the rank reset. They're probably gonna do that like once or twice, and then that's it. They're never gonna touch the game again. I don't see anything new coming out, and it's crazy because they got so much content that they can put out on the game already. Even if they can't touch manga stuff, y'all can definitely like touch Dragon Ball Heroes. Like there's like at least 20 fire characters and storylines that you can make from that game. But you know, it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. It's really sad that we lost Toriyama because it feels like we're just seeing the decline of like Dragon Ball quality wise in real time after his death. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I don't have much else to say. Those are my core points. Basically, it's just the engine that that game operates on. It's the engine that the game operates on. It's the PvP connection, and it's also just Japan being bad at making online games. It's just it is what it is. Unless it's like a co-op game or RPG game or something like that, they're just really bad at making those games long term. And also, let's really talk about it. Them boys at who made them boys at Namco Bandai, they really don't care. They really don't care. So yeah, I had to get them out of here. But yeah, nah, that's the video. And the next, I just the next character I'm probably gonna play with is Vegito. And also, I really don't see Rank coming back anytime soon. If I'm wrong, great, because I do want to hop back on Rank. But I think they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Dino DLC. You know how much you don't care about your fan base to drop a game where you're like literally the biggest buying base of your game is the North American market or the rest of the world, North American, European market. That's probably like 60% of your buying base, 70% of your buying base. And the DLC, you charge people 10, 15, $20. You didn't even have the decency to put it in English. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I've never seen a game ever in my life have a main language and then they have DLC in a completely different language and you have no option of changing the language to anything. I've never seen that in my life, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully I'm wrong with the rank. Hopefully it'll be back soon within the next couple of days. And yeah, I'm just gonna let the game play it out. So, thanks.
おめえやるな。だけど今回はオラの勝ちだな。